Let's start our talk about the simulation hypothesis. Do you think we might live inside a smart computer program? How does this change what we know about reality and life?
The idea is both interesting and a bit scary. Think if our universe was made like a big video game. The rules of physics would be like the game's code. It's like how we get lost in open-world games and become the characters we play.
Some might think the idea is hard to believe, but it makes us ask about destiny. If we live like written code, what about free will? It's like an artist trying to stay within the lines of a coloring book. Can real originality happen?
I like that idea, Ryan. It makes me think of old philosophical questions like Plato's allegory of the cave. What if what we see as reality is just like shadows, and there's a bigger truth behind it?
That's a good link, Sonia. If our universe is a simulation, then out-of-body experiences or DJVU might be mistakes in the program. They give us short looks at the real world. We have all felt moments that don't fit with reality.
But would that mean there is a main person or programmer changing things? This brings up important questions about control. Are we just part of a virtual test? And who gains from this big task?
Right, Ryan. If there is a programmer, wouldn't they need to care about the people in the simulation? It's like when we code AI. These issues matter even more now with new technology.
These are all interesting thoughts that take the simulation hypothesis beyond just guessing. By tying it to today's technology, ethics, and philosophy, we test our ideas of the universe. So, what about our daily experiences? Do they fit or challenge this theory? Let's think about how our universe is like a computer. How do computer ideas help us understand reality? And what are the limits of this view?
I think it's interesting to compare the universe to a computer because it has inputs, processes, and outputs like a system. The laws of physics are like the software running our reality. Could we predict every cosmic event if we had enough computer power, like predicting the weather?
That's an interesting idea, Guy. But does that mean the universe is set? If our actions are already planned, where is human freedom? Imagine life as a computer game where everything is automatic. Are we just loops of data, or can we change the program?
Let's go a bit further. Einstein said God does not play dice with the universe. Does this mean there is a smart design behind chaos? Maybe finding patterns in randomness is like finding errors in software.
That order among chaos reminds me of quantum computing, where particles don't follow classic rules. This unpredictability might show our universe works like a big, decentralized computer. Could quantum quirks be the key to understanding our life's choices?
It's an exciting idea, but we have to think about the philosophical side. If our universe is a machine with errors, who's to blame? What if we find glitches? This brings up questions about creating or destroying worlds. Think of old ship navigators exploring unknown places, not knowing their effect.
Absolutely, Ryan. These concerns go beyond science into cultural ideas. Many beliefs talk about cosmic balance, like the Indian idea of Maya or illusion. Is what we see just a clever cover hiding deeper truths?
These ideas help us understand the simulation theory connecting science, philosophy, and culture. As you think about these ideas, consider how they shape your reality. Are we inside a complex code, set to discover unknown things beyond limits? Let's talk about the main question of the simulation idea. Can we prove we live in a simulation? We have theories, but what real evidence do we have?
Physics gives us some interesting clues. Particles behave differently when we watch them, just like game graphics only show up when we look at them. It's like we see graphics only when we focus on parts of reality.
But can we trust these things as proof? Solipsism tells us that just because something changes when we look doesn't mean we are in a simulation. It's like plants that react to touch. They are natural and puzzling.
Think about the Mandelbrot set. It's a fractal pattern with endless designs from simple math. It looks digital. Could these be natural patterns of a big code showing how the universe is made?
Our universe is perfectly set for life, which some say shows it's designed on purpose. Like a well-made machine, everything seems just right. Are these settings so perfect because we're in a big machine?
But we also have strange things like dark matter and dark energy. They are like hidden code in software. strange but important. We don't know much, but could they be planned placeholders or errors in the simulation?
There's the anthropic principle, which says our universe's details allow life. It's like many simulations, but only a few work. Are we in one of those rare ones?
These questions and ideas show the link between proof, theory, and belief. As we think about living in a simulation, we are close to big discoveries or more mysteries. How will we change our understanding as we keep exploring these areas? Let's think about what happens if the universe is a fake world. What does this mean for creativity and what we think is real?
If the universe is a fake world, maybe our creativity is made by this fake world. Just like artists are influenced by society, our imagination might have limits in this system.
But what if limits make us more creative by making us think differently? Like playing an instrument, not breaking the rules, but making music within them. Maybe the fake world is our canvas, making us innovate?
That's a great point, Ryan. It's like writing a book. You use the same language but tell many stories. Maybe the fake world is a language for us to tell our stories.
If so, do art and stories mirror our life? Our stories might connect with us because they show a truth about infinite possibilities in our world.
Then, is new creativity possible if we live in a fake world, or do we just mix old ideas? Can real discovery change the simulation and its limits?
Another point is how thinking fits in this fake world. Are our minds just computer programs that make the world alive?
You've shown how thinking about a fake world raises big questions about creativity, mind, and discovery. It suggests that even in limits, people can break boundaries, maybe even change the fake world. When we push what is possible, what do we learn about our creativity? If our universe is a simulation, does this change how we see responsibility or truth?
If we are in a simulation, maybe our ethics are preset, like AI following rules. Maybe our right and wrong is part of the simulation. But can we trust these morals?
That's a deep thought, Guy. Maybe our morals go beyond any simulation. Like how language evolves from sounds, can our ethics grow toward truth despite limits?
If we aren't really real in a simulation, does it change our actions' consequences, or does it make them bigger because we're all in a shared program?
Those ripple effects are important, Sonia. Like our digital footprints impact others, our actions, even in a simulation, might matter. We could be leaving digital legacies.
Could our identity be challenged too? Think of identities as digital within the simulation, changing how we see ourselves and our roles. How would that change individuality?
That's deep, Ryan. Like old philosophies asking about the self. Ancient thinkers debated identity, just like we might in a simulated reality, mixing self-awareness over time.
Talking about identity, ethics, and reality in a simulation is like old philosophical questions, now with modern ideas. How might future insights change our existence? Let's talk about how tech could change how we see reality. Could virtual worlds feel just like the real world in the future?
As tech gets better, virtual worlds might seem more real than life. We're seeing this with VR now. If they're seamless, would we doubt what's real?
Good point, Guy. But would perfect digital worlds make real life seem bad? If we always escape to these worlds, could we ignore real problems?
It's cool but risky. In VR, we can see ancient places or other planets from home. But would this change how we learn from real life?
If VR copies real life, could living many lives in VR change how we see ourselves? Would seeing many views change who we are or our morals?
We need to think about the ethics too. If we can simulate life, who runs these worlds? Could they have all the power, making new divisions or freedoms?
Yes, Ryan, simulations give us choices, but also problems. How will cultures shape virtual rules? How will they change real-world ethics?
Great points. As we think about simulations and ethics, ask this: what does this mean for our search for truth? Are there deeper things to find? Thinking about the simulation hypothesis makes us question what we know about life. What does this search for answers mean for us?
It's interesting. The more we learn, the more we see what we don't know. It's like when people tried to explain the universe with stories. Now these stories are digital. Could our search be part of a big plan?
The main thing is flexibility. Our technology changes what we can do, but also gives us new questions. Can we really understand if life is staged, or are we just peeling an endless onion?
We might not find one truth, but many insights that connect us. From science to ethics, each finding might be part of a big picture. Are these ideas hints of a big truth, or are they part of a changing view of reality?
You've all shared deep thoughts. Looking into the simulation hypothesis shows how we want to understand the unknown. As we keep searching, we should stay open to surprises and challenges. Where will our curiosity take us?